forgive a smaller crime, like an infraction, kind of, not,
Yeah.
the scales. And I think so. All of this to say that I think that this is kind of, it's a gray area, but if you're, so looking at your partner's phone is not good. But if you
Mhm.
uncover cheating and gaslighting and things like that, like you're not the one that fucked up.
No, I got so caught up in the story that I forgot, like, yeah, he did. It isn't okay to look at someone's phone, but like, I don't know. I'm wondering if he had a reason to be suspicious, like, because I know that, she had a lot of men, whatever, and she's popular, whatever, but like, that
Honestly,
doesn't,
I find that there's no smoke without fire.
yeah,
So
it's
I've got it
true.
on two sides of, I won't go into the long details, but I had the suspicion that my boyfriend was cheating on me. Um, and I tried to talk to him about it, and he just gaslit me. Like he was like kissing me, and kind of, we ended up having sex, and I was just like, well, this is him trying to just like change the subject. And so
Hmm.
I pretended that I'd forgotten about it, and then I looked into his phone, and he was cheating on me. And so kind of like I suspected it, and I was right. And then a few months later, because I was an idiot, I was a young idiot, I
Mhm.
forgave him. A few months later, I catch him looking through my phone, and he's like, "You're cheating on me." And I was like, "What do you mean I'm cheating? I wasn't." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And so he shows me this conversation from Snapchat where I'm talking to another guy. And I'm like, "Did you look at the date? Like, this was 2.5 years ago. This was before." And it was like, oh, he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." And it turns out that he was cheating on me again. So
Yeah,
no
because he's
smoke
trying to
without fire.
find, yeah, no, he's trying to blame you for what he's doing, and he's trying to make himself feel better, or he's trying to, like, you know, lower the suspicion maybe, or try to find a
Absolutely.
way to justify it. I don't know. It just,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I never understood it. Like, because I think that cheating on someone is very difficult. It's not easy to just go and, oops, I cheated on you by mistake. It's not. It's like it takes, no,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
takes effort. You have to actively go out and go to another person's house and then hide it. And then it's like, it's not an easy thing to do. So if you're actively cheating and working, it's like, it means you're putting effort into it. So it's like, why not just put in the effort into either ending the relationship first, or I don't know, trying to get over it? What's the point? What's the point? You're just causing pain. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's chaos for chaos sake. And so this guy,
Yeah.
this 18-year-old male, um, and he said it like
Oh, he's
she
18?
18, she's 18 and he's
Oh my
18.
God, your baby.
I know, he's babies.
Ugh.
Let me just, and he said, yeah, so they're both 18. They've been together for 2 years, and she kissed a guy, and in speech marks, on accident, quite early on in the
No, you don't
relationship.
get. My boyfriend and I were talking about this a while back. You don't you you can't kiss someone on accident. I asked him what would happen if, let's say, someone kisses me. What happens if someone just, kiss, like, I didn't do anything. He just comes and kisses me. And he's like, you know, it's very rare that someone just randomly comes
Yeah,
up to you and kisses you. It really depends on the situation, but like, if you're in a situation where someone feels comfortable to kiss you, then it means that some flirting was going on there, something's happening, and it's not as innocent as you may think it is. It's like, it's not, you know. So you're putting yourself in these situations, and I don't like that, shaking off the responsibility.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, oops, we fell onto each other and our lips by mistake. No, even in
So,
movies that doesn't happen.
it happened to me once, and I will explain to you. I will explain to you, and you will agree with me 100%.
I'm
And that
skeptical,
doesn't,
but I'll listen.
I will listen to you. I will tell you, but I will, before this, I 100% agree with everything that you said.
Of course you do.
100, like it's, I mean, it's, you don't like on accident. Like, what do you mean on accident? And the fact that she felt bad about it just shows, well, that she pretended to feel bad about it shows guilt. So
Yeah.
you didn't fuck up, she fucked up. Yes, you confront her, you break up with her. You're 18, you're too
Yeah.
young for this shit. Anyway, so what happened to me is that I was at a club. So this was I 7 years ago. Time, man, time, it passes.
It's yeah,
I was at
crazy.
a club with a friend,
Hmm.
and we were dancing, and honestly, I was dressed as sexily as I am dressed now. So for the people not listening and not only listening and not watching, I'm just wearing a hoodie. I barely brushed my curly hair, and I was just, this was just, it was this like small dance thing. I knew the guy that let us in, and we just wanted to dance with a friend. And we were dancing, and there's a guy that kind of brushed up against me. And at the beginning, I kind of, I pushed him back, but I was okay to kind of just dance along, but I pushed him back. And then I turned my back to him, and he brushes up against me like aggressively. And so I push him away. I really push him away. I move to somewhere else on the dance floor. And then he comes along, looks at me, gives me a drink. I say no, thank you. And as I'm like, I can't really remember exactly, but I say no, thank you, and I turn away, and then I turn back again, and there he was, and he just kisses me,
Ugh.
and I
Mm.
lose it. I lose it. I push him back. I slap him. Like, this is amazing how some guys, they have a radar for this shit, and like you could like four guys just came, and they were ready to just defend me for no reason, but I
Aw.
without knowing me, it's, some guys, they can detect this type of thing, but
Yeah.
I got so kind of just crazy. I slapped him. I started yelling at him. The guys came along. The security came. Like the other guys, they were like, "She's fine. Like we do not need to defend her. She
Yeah.
is fine." So yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't feel I put myself in that situation. I was just like, "What?" But what actually happened? Right now, I'm talking about it in a like powerful way. But at the time, I felt really bad about it. I felt really bad about it. Of just like, not in the fact that oh my God, somebody kissed me, blah blah blah. More of the fact that how can I put myself in the situation, like, and the way I felt bad about it was
Mhm.
I felt violated.
Oh, for sure. That is disgusting.
Yeah. So anyway, so I
But
don't even consider that on accident. I felt, violated. So anyway, that's how you can kiss someone. Like somebody can kiss you without really you consenting to it.
yeah, it just goes to show that no matter how careful you are, there's always going to be
Yeah.
some schmuck who's gonna, what can you do? It's just really frustrating that, even when you're careful, it's like driving, even when you're super careful, there can be some crazy driver on the road
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
it really isn't, I trust myself. I know I'm careful, but I can't trust, if there's any drunk drivers around me. I don't know what's, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you just have to be 10 times careful in this world, on the road, in the clubs, and wherever you may be.
Yep. And careful yet forgiving. Um, you know,
Yeah.
and the conversation you had with your boyfriend, it's, the way you talk about, like, what's the circumstance, like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then you just kind of figure it out. I had a boyfriend at the time. If he had, and I told him about it, if he had been angry with me, I think I would have just dumped him then and there. Like,
Oh, yeah. I
I
mean, if
told
he
him,
can't be on, yeah.
and then that was that. But the fact
If
that,
it really depends on context. You always have to
yeah,
seek context before you react, before
Yeah.
you come to a verdict, before you decide what you're going to do, or before you just walk away, you know, in any situation. I think it's so important, you know, within reason. I'm not talking about like, you know, crazy situations with violence or cheating or whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like talking about like actually listening to what happened and being calm about it and composed and not
Yeah.
overreacting. And you never know what, you know, and then you know, once you hear them out, and then you decide how to react. Like we have a tendency to argue with someone in our heads, and
Yeah.
then we react accordingly to that and not what actually happened. And that's just a recipe for disaster.
I agree.
So you have to, you know, and if you see that the person is remorseful, we're saying this beforehand, and you see that they understand that they did something wrong, you see that they feel bad. Like I had an argument with my boyfriend not long ago, and I saw he was already beating himself up about it. There's no point of me making him feel even worse about it because he knows what he's done. If it hadn't been that way, if he would have been, oh, I didn't do anything, and you're just blowing this up, and you're whatever, and you, then yes, that would have been a different story. But you know,
I agree.
anyway,
What do you guys think of
yeah,
the stories the very Alison concentrated stories I feel today?
yeah, you have great stories. Bring them on.
I mean I was when I was editing last week's podcast, I overheard, like, you know, myself saying I've been on 100+ dates. I was just like, yeah, I have a lot of stories. I'd forgotten about both of the stories I told until today. I was just like, oh yeah, those guys.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Tell us about your
Anyway,
stories. I can
yeah,
see
tell us
some
about
like
your TIFUs.
interaction.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
And then,
Yeah,
you know, and just tell us anything that you would like us to talk about. We've got guests planned, but we're just waiting on them to tell us when they're available. Have you got any ideas? And yeah, and please don't forget to like, follow,
yeah,
or
yeah.
subscribe,
We need
listen.
more followers. We
We
need you to
do.
come and join us because the bigger we get, the bigger we can make this for you. So that would be
Exactly.
great. Yeah, so come join us. It's literally just down there. You
Down
see?
there,
You
or somewhere
see?
on the
It's a
side. Like,
subscribe or follow or somewhere around you. Look and click. You see
bye
that
everyone.
red button? You know, when you're a
Do
child,
it.
you would just want to click, click, click. Anyway,
Do it.
do it.
Bye
Anyway,
everyone.
bye.